Following Christ is hard, and it's probably one of the hardest things I'll ever do in my life. But a lot of things are hard, like getting out of bed in the morning when it's cold, college, training, staying focused on goals in general. These are all hard. There's always these things in our lives that are difficult, and life itself can be feeling like it's constantly just obstacles. So when I say following Christ is hard, I don't mean it is hard in the same way that I would say these other things are hard. Following Christ is hard because you know how amazing Jesus is and how beautiful his love is. But your flesh is constantly at war against your spirit. Everything in this world is constantly trying to pull you and take you away and get your eyes off of following Jesus. There are always these things that yank you in the wrong directions. We got social media, friends that we really shouldn't associate with, drugs, lust, greed, the list goes on. We constantly have dopamine rush from our phone and want to pursue things we really shouldn't, and we get so used to the instant gratification, all these things in this world. It's really funny too, because a lot of people think when you choose to come to Christ or follow Christ that everything becomes easy. But it leads to a life where you're constantly trying to follow him and do his will and not your own, and you're always at a battle against yourself and what you want to do. But the reality is, I would make this decision over and over again to follow him. I would choose this hard over and over again. It's in Matthew 7:14 that says, "Because narrow is the gate and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are few who find it." So I know he's already told me that following him is not going to be easy. And denying myself and picking up the cross and following him is not going to be easy. But it leads to eternal salvation. So it's a hard that I'll always choose. It's a hard that is always fulfilling. It's a hard that makes sense no matter what. When everything else in this world can be confusing and we don't know where the next step is, or we don't, no one has it really figured out. Everyone acts like they do, even I do. But the only thing I ever have figured out is that Jesus Christ is King, and if I choose to do his will and not my own, everything else falls into place. And it's hard. It's really hard. Especially as a student in college, there's a lot of things that pull me away. But there's one thing that's guaranteed every day when I wake up, and it's that Jesus Christ is King, and he died for me on the cross. And he rose again to prove that his salvation is true. And so choosing that hard will always make sense. Choosing that hard will be a hard choice that I always make. And it's hard to live for him. It's hard. It's not easy. But it's not the same as other things that are hard. It's a hard that I'm willing to do until the day I die. It's a hard that has purpose. It's a hard that has a guarantee. It's a hard that is true and loving and fulfilling. All the other things in this world do not matter, except that Christ is King and I'm supposed to follow him and spread his name. He makes everything else easier. He makes getting out of bed easy. He makes taking the cold shower easy. College easy. Training easy. He makes it all easier because he's already paid the ultimate price. Because he's already made way the plan that is for my life. He's already set in stone what is meant to be written. So why have fear? Why let yourself fall? Why worry about the unknown? What you're going to eat, what you're going to wear? There's no need. Because following Christ is hard. But it's a hard that I'll always choose.